Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Coach Chris with a little pre-market update for Monday, June 16th, 2025. Recording this about 7:30 Central Time, so it's about an hour before the New York Open. Quick update, I did roll to the September futures contract. Volume is about equal right as we speak, but probably by the end of the day, the June contract will be down to very little volume, and then September will start to absorb all of the volume. The only thing that's of big importance is the price action will look the same, basically the candles and everything on the chart, but you'll be dealing with new levels. When the contracts roll, there's a premium built into the new futures contract. And if you want to research that, you can do that on your own and see why they're there, where there is that price differential. There's 4 contracts a year. The June is expiring, and we're now in what we call the SEP contract, which I believe is the U. Yeah, it's the U contract. So, like if it's NQ, before it was NQM 2025 or NQM 25 for the year. Now it becomes the NQU 25 instead of the M contract. So this video is brought to you by openingrangebreak.com. And you can see here, I've got the 15-minute chart of the MNQ up right now. This overnight, to give you a frame of reference, or this big red drop here was when this current war broke out between Iran and Israel. That was the initial drop. This was the previous day opening range, and you can see how we were threatening new highs up over here, and then we had that huge drop. It got absorbed, and since then, which was Thursday morning, we've had a nice run up. We had a sell off on Friday. And when the market opened overnight last night, you can see we had this huge drop. There's actually a gap here overnight with a huge needle down almost to those lows, which they'll do. They'll swing down to clean up. When I say they, the market makers and the bots, they'll go down and they'll clean all of those open orders up. But since then, you can see this was at 5 o'clock Central Time last night. We've so slowly been creeping up. But one thing of interest is you can see here this green and red lines here. That was the opening range from Friday's trading. Okay, and then this is the midpoint. And you can see here how the market likes to revisit places that it's already been. And so you can see here, we spent a lot of time overnight in this lower half of that opening range. We moved up right after midnight into the upper range of that opening break, pulled back, and now you can see we've broken above that level, and we're coming up to levels that peaked on, I believe this was Friday, Friday the 13th, last Friday. So the other thing that's interesting, I mean, the buyers have really taken control of this pretty steadily. Normally, we have to wait till about 7 a.m. Central Time and we get an injection of liquidity, and that's when some of the first algorithms are turned on, the buying algorithms. And today, we saw that injection of liquidity come in around a little after 6 a.m. Central Time, and then an additional injection of liquidity at around 7 a.m. And so that's been this current grind up. This is a 15-minute chart. So you can see here we're above the opening range of last Friday with about an hour to go before the New York market opens. So we're going to see if they want to now go to this upper range, kind of keep it here until the open, or what's really going to happen. We do have a big news week. Today there's no news, so I think things are going to kind of get cleaned up a little bit. But the one thing you're going to want to watch for, especially with this contract rollover, we're going to have some pretty decent volume of the people liquidating their June contracts and rolling them into SEP, the September contract. But the other thing is we're always going to be vulnerable for headline news with this war activity going on. You never know how a tweet that you think may be interpreted as good news, you never know how the market's going to interpret it. The other thing is there can be rogue tweets, and the initial reaction by the crowd usually is the worst reaction, and so it'll be overreaction in one direction or the other. So that's the pre market report for Monday, June 16th. Coach Chris, have a great week of trading, everyone, and hope you all have green weeks. Take care.